And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Word Slam. Word Slam is a party-style game where you're going to be split up into teams and trying to get people to guess words. Well, that's not an unusual thing. There's lots of party games that do that, and you're going to have them guess words with words, except these words are on cards. How does this work? I'm glad you asked. I'll show you. But first, let me throw some cards on the table. Okay, so there are different types of word cards here. These are like introductory cards, and we have easy, medium, and hard cards. Each team, you're going to split into two teams, is going to get a deck of cards. So here's the blue deck, and the orange deck is here, split into 4 different types of cards. And so you basically have nouns here, so you can see, we got day, circle, technology, metal, things like that. You have adjectives, which are the green ones. So we have historic and red and funny and orange. You have prepositions and other words. That's the blue ones. So left, through, many, with, 0, for. And then you have kind of these action words. These are verbs. Speak, drink, hear, turn, shoot, fly, etc. And so once you've split into teams, then 2 people, 1 from each team, are going to look at a card. So they look at a card. They will roll a die to see the word on that card. Now you might wonder why Neil Armstrong here is highlighted. That's because this is a pop culture reference. So you can just, when you see these, you can ignore them if you want to. You can agree beforehand. But here we have train station. So one person has a timer. One of the answers, people one of the clue givers says word, the other says slam, and then you start. And your team can see your trays here, and the other team will see the other trays basically based on how they're laid out. And you're going to be putting words in here as fast as you can to try to get the train station. And so I'm like, all right, how do I get the train station? So I'm going to go through these, and definitely a building. Okay, so I'll put a building here, and a vehicle building maybe, and maybe I'll say historic vehicle building. And let's see, are there any other clues that will help out here? Loud, blue, transparent. And so you're going through these, and teams are guessing. Now, you're not allowed to look at the other team's tray, but you can listen to the clues that the other team is giving. And if they help you out, the first team to shout out the answer is going to get the card. You're going to have a stack of these cards based on how long you want the game to go, and whoever has the most cards is the winner. And, these are basically just slightly harder words like planet, chainsaw, mare, ballet, zipper, etc. And SpongeBob SquarePants, who lives in a pineapple under the sea. So if one person thinks the clue's taking too long, they can flip the timer. One team has a timer, and that's just kind of, if the timer runs out and no one gets it, just go on to the next card. Usually these things just happen by acclamation anyway. Or you can also, if you both think the word is too hard, you can pick a different word. Here, let's try something here real quick. We'll pretend you're on my team. So I'm picking the word here. And so we start here, and I'm trying to get this. Now, you're not allowed to hum or give any other clue, but I'm looking through my adjectives here first. So you'll see that I put cold there. And I'll put white, cold. And meanwhile, you're shouting out clues. Now, while I cannot say anything, I can move cards, I can put cards on, I can take cards off, I can point to a card. So hopefully by this time you have guessed it. And hopefully at this point, hopefully you've zoomed your screen in so you could see that. Here we go, this is better. Now, hopefully my team will have guessed snowball, which is the clue. But sometimes they're much harder than that. Snowball was not so hard. But doing Terminator or even mole would have been much harder, I think, for me to have done. Snowball here happened to be an easy one. So anyway, that's basically how you play the game. You're just trying to get your team to guess using cards. You can't talk, can't hum, can't pantomime, but you can move the cards around. You also can't do this, like SW. You can't, that's cheating too. But I might point at this card, like really point at it. That card's important. I can split them. I got 2 trays in case I need to have 2 words or something. That's how you play Word Slam. And that is Word Slam. Word Slam is a very fun game because when I played this, I mean, this game just went over like gangbusters. My family loved it. It just was really fun. It's fun to give the clues. It's fun to guess the clues. It can be frustrating at times because you're like, how could you not have guessed that that was a snowball, round and white circle? What else is a cold white round circle? There's nothing else. And you'll find that sometimes your team, but sometimes as you're saying these things, someone else will mention, snowman, and you're like, oh, snowball. And I love that part of this game. It's really the best part, is that it's teams. Now, conceptually, this game is very similar to a game called, Concept, with a bit of compatibility, another party game thrown in. But Concept has a board, and you're putting things on the board, different clues on the board, and you can't talk, but you're just putting these on the board. Concept is very original and very unique, and I really like it, and I think I might like it slightly better than this one. This one has the same thing, but you're putting cards out with words. Where this game has an advantage, though, is that it has teams. And so the teams are going up against each other. Now, there are many party games where you just play to have fun, right? This could be played that way, too. But this can be played a little bit more competitively, and I like that. Sometimes you just want to play a party game to see who the winner is, and this one matters in that regard. And it's more fun. Both teams are finding the same clue. Both teams have the exact same set of word cards. Both teams, so if the clue's hard or easy, doesn't matter. Both teams are trying to get that. The pop culture stuff is hard. I would play a house rule that if it's pop culture, we say pop culture, just so people are in that mindset, because otherwise it could take forever. And we found clues that we like, how do you actually do this one? Although sometimes one person will do it one way, another person does it another way, and if you were able to combine them, you would get it. And then that's what happens. You'll hear the questions. Like, I'm playing this game, and someone puts out the word circle, and then someone else says, like fire. I'm like, fire, circle. Okay, now is it the sun? And I like that. Okay, that's the best part of this game. This game is really good. I'm actually taking it and keeping it, sticking it at home with my family because they liked it that much. This is one of the few games where I said, all right, we're done. And there was weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth because they wanted to play it some more. That's always a good sign. When I first played, I was like, this is too close to Concept for it to work well. But you know what? I think there's room for both. Concept is more of a thought, creative exercise, which is extremely entertaining. This is more of a challenging, fun, entertaining party game. And I like those. Dice Tower Judgment, excellent.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.